The method to go to the land of truth. Okay. So if we do not have this land of truth within ourselves while we're alive, then it actually also doesn't exist when we die. And so for a person to go to the land of truth, to actually come to a place to live forever, one must get rid of their incomplete self, the incomplete person that lives in the human mind, along with that human mind world. And then when born again from the universe mind, right? So representing the universe mind in this way, when coming to this universe mind and born again from here, then within that universe mind, which is actually this place here, we can see the world and myself that is everlasting, the universe existence itself. So, right, how do you find this land of truth though? This forever existing land of truth within this universe. So, scientists say from forever ago until 13 billion years ago, only this universe emptiness existed. So the universe, but the emptiness is what we're speaking about, that non-material state. And then eventually, even though this emptiness always exists and never goes away, right, everlasting, but at some point in time, about 13 billion years ago, within this emptiness, eventually all of the world that we come to know of the stars, the sun, moon, earth, has started to come out into existence. However, when seen from the perspective of this emptiness, actually the stars, sun, earth, moon had never been in existence. And that's why even when Sakyamuni Buddha, when he came to his great enlightenment, what his enlightenment was that material things, it actually has never been born into the world. It is the existence of no birth. So that's the funny thing, because even though we as people, we think this world exists, but because from this perspective of the universe that's everlasting, never disappears, things that come up for a moment of time and then just disappears with time, it's like as if it never been born, never existed. Yeah. And if I can just bring in like a little example of this, but like during summertime, like have you ever heard like a mosquito buzzing around in your room? Right? Yeah. So you hear a mosquito like buzzing around your room, and you find the mosquito and you smash it with your hands, right? Like, oh, I got it. And then such a victory. Yes, I've got the mosquito, right? But then after I don't know, maybe I think for me, it's like less than 30 seconds. Like the mosquito, you don't even think about it. It's as if that mosquito wasn't ever even in your room before, if that makes sense, right? So, when you hear the mosquito, it's so obvious, and you're like, I have to find the mosquito, right? And get rid of it. Maybe not all of you, but I am. And then once you do it, right? And just some seconds later, you just don't it's not even in existence. It's not in your realm. And it's as if the mosquito never even was existing in the first place, right? And in that exact same way, ourselves that comes out to the world claiming to exist, right? Having this life, and even all the things of even the stars, things that have a lifespan of billions of years. But from the perspective of this emptiness, that is the eternal lifespan, right? Forever lifespan, something that lasts even for 1 billion years and just disappears, something that lasts 80 years, 100 years and just disappears. From the perspective of the universe, it never even existed in the first place. Yeah. And in that way, it's the existence of where there's no birth of it. There's no true life, no true birth. It's actually just universe. But also to Sakyamuni Buddha's enlightenment of this here, of there's no birth, things just doesn't actually exist individually. It's just universe. But also what he realized was that the existence that eternally never disappears, which is this universe emptiness, this existence is the existence of no death. So this is actually very big, no death, because if we actually had the solution to transcend, what we understand of death, which is also false, if we actually had a solution to transcend that idea about death, that experience of death, then actually that is the solution. And that's why Socinium always just emphasizes, hey, you have to live eternally. You have to live forever. Because once you attain that, receive that life, right, then all the underlying fears disappears. All the underlying human mind of attachments and trying to like build and create for yourself and create all your stress and suffering, that naturally resolves and disappears. It doesn't exist. Yeah. However, even just this enlightenment of, hey, there's no death, that's not it though. That's just like almost in a way a stepping stone, because as only this emptiness exists, one has to be born in this mind, in this consciousness, in this existence. And that therefore is the land of truth. So people have been speaking about this from forever of time and seeking truth. But when you go through, you have a method to go through a process where you can understand bit by bit, little by little, until actually that full enlightenment actually does come in. But there's a solution, a way to realize this, to enlighten to this, and actually achieve this. Yeah. But, why haven't we been able to achieve this? Why have we not been able to realize this for ourselves, right? And it's because, this being called me, the human existence, right? We're incomplete because we think that we exist, right? I come out to this world and capture all of what belongs to the world. I make a copy of the world and I think that world exists, right? When it's actually just a picture. So even though there's this universe here in truth, right, in the mind of oneness, but I never was here because the human mind is what makes a copy of that world and thinks that, hey, I exist, all the people exist, and this world that I know exists, right? But then if we take a closer look at this here, what it is, the world that is everlasting, that's here, and I've never been in the true world of that, but instead, I was just always inside of my mind about the world, but I mistakenly been thinking it to be real because it looks exactly like the world, when instead, this thing is not real, it's an illusion. And I lived being deceived by my own mind of lies. And why is it a lie? Because it's an illusion, it's a copy of the world, and therefore it's not real. And therefore the stress and suffering that comes from there. So Socinium says that the human mind, it's actually a robot existence. Even though we think we have free will and we have like our way of doing, like we choose, but actually myself coming out, born into the human mind that's given from parents and ancestors, I'm actually just living according to that script, only based on conditions and situations and how the self perceives things to be. I'm stuck in that robotic mind of the human mind. Yeah, so all things that have come out to the world that are material things are like a robot existence, meaning that when the lifespan ends, it just returns to dirt. And then even if that dirt disappears, it just is returning to that emptiness, the universe, the source. So while we're living, right, to not just stay inside that human mind to just die and disappear, but while alive, if we actually practice a way, know a way to get rid of it, get rid of that false world and that false self, and then when we do get rid of it, then we can naturally see this universe that remains within us. So bit by bit enlightenment, and from there, right, born again. So within this place here that's everlasting, the world and myself that comes out into existence here in this consciousness, and therefore in this existence, this life. So we're here to attain great things, whether we realize it or not, through this method. And right, Rome wasn't built in a day. So as much as we do little by little, just do what you can do today, then naturally you see Rome built. You'll be able to witness coming out to the land of truth. Yeah, but you have to put in your effort, of course. So thank you for being here.